say I went one round with Mike Tyson. I'm good.
Listen, I don't know how you got oodles of confidence because I ain't saying I'm going any round with Mike. I listen. He'll beat me down before I make it to round one.
Look,
All
all I
right,
got to say is thick fat's where it's at.
thick fats. What's up, y'all? It's Sprites in the house, literally in the house with my buddy, my good pal, my good friend, Mr. Maverick. We're here for our welcome to the ASMR video. We're gonna be right up in your ears.
Wait, are we
And
ASMRing or are we beatboxing? Hold on, I thought we were
oh,
beatboxing.
one I don't think I have the pigmentation for that, but
That I almost spit water all over my computer.
oh my gosh.
Oh,
Uh,
that's great.
I but we are. It's a little bit different, and you guys might be able to tell. We are recording over the interwebs. We're at our houses, and so we're not able to meet in person this week. And for y'all, for those who have been following us pretty closely, you know that we just kind of had a go of things this past month, really just life, and until we can really nail this and get to a set schedule and whatnot, that's just how it's going to be. But we are still super pumped about the podcast, and so we're going to continue to try to do this. And if this goes well, hey, you know, we might be able to pump out even more, because we could definitely record a lot more at the house than we can in person.
Oh,
So
for sure, yeah. And guys, one of the things is I like he said, life. I've been kind of a little under the weather. It's been a little hard to talk. Finally getting my voice back, and
and I'm losing mine.
well,
So
we thought about just letting him talk for the both of us, but
yeah, yeah. I don't I don't know about that. It sounds like I've been smoking a whole bunch of marbles every day for the past 15 years. So uh and yeah. So trying to get my voice back now that his voice has returned. He has taken my voice. So
yeah. Well,
in search of voice, please
yes,
insert here.
yes. Prayers needed for sure.
Prayers indeed needed, but and also we're having to keep it a little bit more quiet than usual because we are recording a little later. So we got kids and wives, and both of those categories will wake up very easily, and neither one of them will be happy if they do. So
I mean, mine are on the other side of the house, so I'm good. I can get all
true,
kinds of
yeah,
loud.
yeah. Mine are not. Mine share a room, a wall with me, so
Oh yeah,
they'll get
yeah,
after me quick.
for sure, for sure. I'll have to just bump your audio up if we can't hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can
Yeah.
you hear me now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But anyways, guys, we are super pumped about being able to do this for you guys. We are the Dragonswell Gaming podcast, and we're here with all of the new current gaming news. Those who don't know, and we're bringing your daily roasts and whatnot. Uh, so
I love a good
that's what we do.
I love a good roast. It
Yeah, man. Yeah, get some potatoes and corn or carrots in there,
oh yeah, yeah, marshmallows over the
along
fire.
yeah, along with your local celebrity or your favorite celebs.
Yeah, we're not burning
Yeah,
celebrities. Yeah, we're just
but
hey guys,
we
don't
oh, go ahead.
don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Dragons W Gaming, Facebook, Dragonswell Gaming, and Instagram. We have been very active on Twitter, not so much on Facebook and Instagram. That's my fault. But most of the news is definitely coming from Twitter. We're trying to grow Twitter audience, and I guess it's X now. I don't imagine it's Twitter anymore. I don't guess.
No, yeah, I think it's X.
I know my app says X, but you know, but my kids miss the little Twitter bird going off when I refresh all my
The
timeline.
the Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, Elon's
Well,
doing good things. He's got you internet. He's helping us on X.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Amen.
we
Amen.
he's
Yeah.
making good strides in the right direction. I'm trying to talk my brother into it. He's been a little iffy. I don't think he wants to
Hesitant.
drop the money yet.
Yeah. Well, if you need assistance in talking with him, I can tell him all about my musky blessings.
I even
So
told him I'd come help him install it. You know, so
the the old musky blessings.
yeah, musky.
It has been it's been a good time. I've been really enjoying it. I've never. I grew up extremely poor. Still not really like super banking, but I grew up extremely poor. So the fact that I've never, and we've always lived in a rural area, so I've never had like high speed internet, like
Yeah,
super good internet,
right.
right? So it's like it's always been. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever got over like 15 meg internet in my life, like ever had
Oh,
had
that's
that.
good because I've
And
never
so
had
like,
over 5.
well, like, yeah, oof, rough. And so, but like being able to have something like this. Now, here's the thing: it's not like always, like insanely good, but I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Like if I were to check right now it seems fairly low most of the time, but it doesn't run as though it's low, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Which I say that right now I'm rocking. It just keeps going up.
yeah,
I'm rocking about 60 megs right now.
it's after peak time. So after peak time, you're good. Like after about
Yeah,
9:30, 10 o'clock, you're pretty good all through the night.
yeah.
But no, it is, and and I'll say I give a shout out to
It's
Elon,
been
for
in.
helping get the Starlink up and going. That's why we can do this, and that allows us to be a little more flexible with our schedule because I mean we do have families, and Sprites said that it's difficult, especially when plus I mean, we have our esports program and we have full-time jobs. So Sprites has 2 full-time jobs, and he just keeps taking on more and more. So
Yeah, I was thinking about it today, and it not in like a bragging way, but more of like I literally walked in the door, looked at my wife, and I was like, "Look, I need a cooldown," and she's like, "What?" I was like, "I'm not really like, I'm not like mad or upset or anything like that." I was like, "I just need a cooldown. I didn't need a breather. I need a moment to think because right now I'm not stressed, right? Because I don't really get stressed. Like I don't let things bother me that I have to do. Like I just know I have to do them, right? I mean, it's kind of like the Bible talks about girding yourself, up like a man, right? Gird
hmm
up your loins like a man, right? Like pretty much pull yourself by your bootstraps, like man up. It's
man up.
time to time to go to work, right? All these sissies out here, man up. And so that's kind of how it is. But I had to take a second because I'm like, I literally just have so much going on that I can't like even assess what needs to come first. I'm like, there's just so I needed to like take a mental reset and just like figure out what all I need to do.
True
You know what I
that.
mean? What all I got going on and prioritize. And so hey, if there's any life lessons to be given here, some wisdom, take some time to sit down. Don't overstress, but here's the thing, you can be overwhelmed and not stressed out. Okay. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not stressed about it. I'm not letting it affect my health, but I am overwhelmed. So I need to like, condense things down. I need to prioritize it, set it out and establish kind of a rhythm to things.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
and that's what I'm doing.
Well, and that's
So
after I don't know why I didn't do it before I was out of college. I mean, that was kind of silly, I guess. But
what happened?
after college, I actually kind of like got my ducks in a row, I guess you would say, and
Yeah.
kind of started like trying to plan and have specific times during the day when I would do this for work or I'd do this for work. And sometimes it just, you got to take a step back, you got to look at everything and just see where you're at and what you need to do. And but pray on it, and God will answer. God will put you on the right track.
True that. True that. Sometimes he hits you with a hard. Sometimes he hits you with a hard no. You know. Sometimes he literally trips you.
I mean,
You know
it's kind
that
of like
happens.
boxing. I mean, sometimes he comes in with the left jab or the right hook,
Yeah.
and then other times he bites your ear off.
got got that got that Mike
The Mike
Tyson.
Tyson bite your ear
Uh,
off.
yeah. Yeah. Got that Mike Tyson sovereignty coming out. Lord over all besides the S's.
Oh, that's
But
horrible. That's
dude,
horrible. We did
I
say we were gonna roast celebrities, though. I mean,
yeah, yeah. Maybe not the one guy that like will find us and legit beat the tar out of us.
hey, that's okay. If I can say I went one round with Mike Tyson, I'm good.
Listen, I don't know how you got oodles of confidence because I ain't saying I'm going any round with Mike. I listen. He'll beat me down before I make it to round one.
Look,
All
all I
right,
got to say is thick fat's where it's at.
thick fats. You're-
What was
listen,
that?
I know I should. I know I shouldn't
Quote
say
from
this, but like
Pokemon's Violet and Scarlet.
thick fats where it's at. I listen. I'm telling you, and I know you guys are probably like get to the gaming stuff. But
Oh, yeah,
don't
yeah.
worry, we'll get there. But it's been a while since we were able to do this anyway. So, and who knows? You guys might like our little anecdotes and whatnot. But
Well, we told you before, we're here to have a good time. So if you're not having a good
oh yeah,
time with us, then you need to go listen to
we're
somebody
just
else's boring podcast.
yeah, we're vibing here at the well, and it's refreshing at the well.
It is. It is.
But we're dealing with a particular student that runs literally everywhere, right? And you guys might, if you're a student yourself or maybe been around kids for a while, it's pretty easy for you to be able to like think about a student or somebody that you think about a kid that does this often, where they just will not sit still, just bouncing up and down and whatnot. And it's kind of a cruel joke, if you will, that this particular student that is so ADHD that so cannot sit still, he has to bounce around, he has to move.
I'm gonna do it again. Are we talking about reference?
No, but I mean, he might fall under this category as well. He might even be on the spectrum a little bit, but we.
Sorry, reference. I couldn't help it.
But no, this particular kid bounces around so much, and he cannot sit still. But it's kind of a cruel joke because he's also paired up with the most unathletic, like unstable. If that's the proper word, unstable, I guess.
Yeah, it's unstable.
Unstable genes I have ever met in my life. Like he bounces around everywhere, but he has no coordination whatsoever. So this person, this student, falls down like 18, 19, 20 times a day. Like no joke. If I were to tally it, it'd probably be close to that. And I'm like, and I'm not even in this particular kid's class all day. So it's like if I were to watch them like throughout the day, it would probably tally even more. But just like me being in their presence, they fall down at least that many times. And like they just trip on nothing, like air, like existence trips them. And like I'm like, what are you doing? Like how do you I mean, there's been a couple of times, granted, the shoe's been on the wrong foot, but other than that, I'm like, what is happening here? So, you know, the other day, this particular kid trips on nothing, and one of the students or one of the other faculty members was like, "Hey, you know, that's kind of like how God talks to us sometimes." And I'm like, "Yeah, how's that?" And she goes, "Well, you know, sometimes he tells us wait, sometimes he tells us yes, sometimes he tells us no, and sometimes he just flat out trips us." And I was like, "True."
Yeah, that's
You know,
not.
sometimes you just absolutely get just tripped, and you're like, you know what, God, I'm gonna go this way, and then just the first step you take is just straight up, just face planted into the ground.
Yeah, I've been there, done that a few times. I think
I'm like, man,
probably
how
more than a
relatable
few.
is that?
That's
How
awesome.
relatable is that?
That is awesome.
Oh, but
Look at
it was a
us.
good
We're
time.
bringing life lessons from the well.
Yeah. Don't trip.
Yeah,
Pass it on.
life lessons
Not
with
the tripping.
Sprites and Maverick.
Sprites and Maverick. Next, we're going to be painting a beautiful horizon, and I think we're going to use the sky blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have some happy trees.
Get yes,
I
happy
need my
trees.
I don't know how you would I don't
Bro,
know.
I wonder if anybody's ever roasted Bob Ross. You think?
No. Okay.
I feel like that. I
Have
feel
you
like that's like an instant. He might be a. Actually, I figured it out. I figured it out, man.
have you ever seen him swing the paintbrush when he's like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm against that. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, he slapped you with a paintbrush.
You know what he is? I've figured it out, dude.
An inkling
No,
from Splatoon.
no, no. That's a good guess too,
I mean, he had the hair
dude.
for it. I think there's
He's
like one that's got like a squid
listen.
furrow.
Listen, he's a perfect disguise. Like out in the open, he's a Horcrux.
Oh,
110%.
wow.
Bob Ross is a Horcrux. You're hearing it first at the well. You want to
Oh,
know why? Who is going to throw any shade, any spell, any roast at this man?
nobody.
Nobody. Nobody that wants to exist or continue to live, you know, a carefree life. Nobody that wants peace to be poured out upon their life would ever do that. It's the perfect Horcrux, dude.
Hmm. Very true.
It keeps old Voldy alive.
Keeps old Voldy alive.
Oh. Also, I feel like if I was a part of the Death Eaters, that would definitely be what I call them. I probably wouldn't last there very long.
No,
You know,
no, you'd be
I'm like,
catching a
hey,
green spell.
yeah, I'd be. What is it called? A Vada Kedavra?
Cadabra. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he hit me with that.
No, he
Here,
probably let
write that down.
he
Write that
probably
down.
let
The snake get me.
yes. What is the snake's name? Nagini.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nagini.
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 Yeah, dude.
Ouch.
Oh, hey, that snake ain't ready for me, dude. I'll keep it a buck with you. That snake ain't ready for me. I grew up watching Steve Irwin.
I was.
Hey, come at me, dude. That snake lunges. I said, step to the side, pinch the back of the neck, and then I'll proceed to hold it in front of the camera and talk about it for the next 20 minutes
Mm-mm. No,
on how it could kill me in one bite.
no.
But it
I'm gonna
ain't never
shoot
gonna
it
get that
before
bite.
it. Yeah, before it even sees me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
pull the
play.
pull what we call the pleke kick out. You
Yeah,
know,
that's what we did the other day.
pull the pleke. Sometimes you got to pull that pleke kick out.
That's right. That's right. Take that snake out
We
before it
don't
bites you. God said, "Crush its head."
crush its head. Now it also said with his heel, and I'm like, but Lord, can I have shoes on or like what?
I mean, I'll crush it with the heel after I've shot it in the head a few times. I'm good with that.
But yeah,
And make sure you throw it
Bob
belly up.
Ross is a Horcrux. Confirmed.
Yeah, make sure you throw dead snake's belly up. That way we get some rain.
Yeah, we thought Bob Ross is dead, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
passed
yeah,
a
he's
while back.
yeah. Harry, the dusted him.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
R.I.P.
horrible.
The
R.I.P. Bob
greatest of all the
Ross.
Horcrux.
You know, I don't know if you know much about him. He actually was a really, really good guy. Like him and who else were we talking about the other day?
I I feel like if that I don't know.
Oh,
I mean it might
Mister
be like a persona.
was it Mister
Mr.
Rogers?
Rogers.
Yeah, Mister Rogers was a really good guy too.
I feel like it is a bit of a persona,
Uh
like
huh.
what he does. But also on the flip side, I feel like there's like a level of like gentleness and like I don't know elegance about him that
Mm-hmm.
like is to me at least would be extremely hard to kind of duplicate and even just fake. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean,
But
back that far back. I mean, they weren't just actors on the TV. They were, I mean, they were people.
yeah, they were
Speaking of
like
people
genuine.
and Horcruxes and I guess the okay, so Harry Potter 1 and 2. We had that one
Yeah,
actor that was Dumbledore that passed away. That
yep.
his
R.I.P.
replacement just passed away. I think yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's they got dump they got double doored.
That's horrible.
Boy.
So nobody is signing up to play Dumbledore for the HBO series, the remake of Harry Potter.
Good. Yeah.
Uh,
Listen, I had the way that they were explaining the way that they were explaining how the like in the newer um what is it? The newer Harry Potter esque movies, not like Harry Potter themselves, but like in the Wizarding world. What are they called? Fantastic Beasts. And the
oh
Fantastic Beasts
yeah.
series, where you know how he's like young Dumbledore, but like
Yes.
he's a little fruity Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, I had like, and I watched them, and they weren't like awful,
Overly
but
fruity.
yeah, no, it really is kind of more like a subtle thing where it's almost like is this more of like a bro thing or like is this? I mean, there were some times where you're like, okay, this is more of like a relationship
I yeah, but
type thing,
the thing that hacked me
but
off the most though was when they replaced Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp
oh yeah,
was
we're not,
the
yeah,
main antagonist and
oh yeah, 100%.
and then when they
And
were I
and
didn't
the
watch the
guy that
third one.
got so the guy that they got to play Grindelwald was actually pretty good. I forgot his name
Was it Mads
now, but
Mikkelsen
uh
who replaced him?
I cannot that name doesn't sound familiar, so I don't think that I mean it might be, but anyways, he did a good job. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, there wasn't a presence there. It was missing for
It
sure.
was Mad Mikkelsen.
Uh oh well, look at that. Don't
Look at
trust anything I say.
me, look at me,
But
and I like Mads Mikkelsen.
look at me.
Mads Mikkelsen
And
played
he
Hannibal.
he did he did an excellent job. But there still wasn't a level of fear about him. I guess like I wasn't really scared of Grindelwald like I was the first couple of movies where like he was just bodying everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
nobody could stand up. I mean, he was taking on multiple wizards at a time, and it was just like whooping up on all of them. Because they knew that the only person that could match him was Dumbledore. Um, but in saying all that, I heard so many rumors about how Dumbledore is supposed to be, especially in the last one, that I no joke, I was expecting Dumbledore to come out like straight up like, "Hey guys,
Right, right.
we'll get," and I'm like, when I saw him and he was like real chill and like, pretty stern, I was like, were these rumors like fake? What's going on? And so like I spent the rest of the movie like looking for stuff, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Huh. Well, I might have to check
You
that
know what I
out
mean? So
because
it's really not like all up in your face. I mean, it kind of is, but at the same time, it's like there's nothing really intimate. Now it's been a while since I watched the movie, so I could
yeah.
be missing some scenes that I try to control delete out of my mind, but I don't think there's any in there. But anyways, just you know,
And there's our take on the
some
world.
other there's our
Take on the wizarding
on
world.
Brent on the Wizarding World. Also, I think Brennan Lee Mulligan, the guy who made uh, College Humor and a bunch of other things. He also DMs, and he talks about he has a fantastic take on the fact that the Wizarding World is just all messed up. Like the fact that they can teleport anywhere that they want on the planet,
Mm-hmm.
yet they have owls as the messenger, which is nature's slowest bird. And he's like, you know how cruel that is that you could be there in 2 seconds and it takes them 2 months to get there.
That
I'm like, yeah,
that
that's
okay.
true.
That's animal cruelty.
Yeah,
Okay, so the
they
wizarding world
also
had
establish all of their laws based off of one school.
well, and it's well, it's not just one school because there's multiple schools.
I know, but they only base them off Hogwarts. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm. I don't. I don't remember. I think some of that was
I
actually
mean,
brought up in.
granted, they do have Dumbledore as their headmaster, which is kind of like, hey,
Yeah, but
you
in
know,
Hogwarts Legacy, a it was somebody from Slytherin house that was it was a black one of the black family members as headmaster.
huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, look at that,
yeah, yeah.
Slytherin.
But there was still what are they, house elves, slavery. Yeah, so there was slavery, which
Yeah,
in the fourth book that was Hermione's big thing, I think, and it's I kind of just got
was
tired of the whole like I think that's
yeah,
why I never finished reading it because it was just
yeah. I think in the fourth movie she lost her eyebrows.
what.
Her eyebrows.
Mm,
And do you remember how big Emma Watson's eyebrows were until about the fourth movie, and then they just like disappeared?
oh, I didn't pay
And
attention.
you're like, where did your and because and like in the books they're supposed to be like super, or like she is supposed to be not like a super pretty girl, but kind of like a, from what I've gathered, a more like not not homely looking, but I mean, just like an average looking girl,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, right, right.
And they kind of nailed it within the first couple. I mean, within the first couple of movies, and then Emma Watson started getting a lot more mature, and obviously started. I don't think she got any work done, but I mean, when you got all that money, you could do a bunch of skincare and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah,
And so
right,
then
right.
she started looking, a lot more like a young lady than just a little girl. And then you're like,
Well,
Hermione's looking a lot better than I think she should.
I was gonna say
But
in the
at that part,
books,
you already committed.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in the books, I mean, they were fairly young, but the movies were spaced out so far that You know, I mean,
Mhm.
they grew up a lot faster than they
Yeah, they were
grew.
already adults by the time the franchise ended. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I think it was roughly around the fourth one where it was like it is the fourth. That's the Goblet, right? Goblet of Fire.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because that's when like Ron really started liking Hermione too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but and there was that whole prom scene where like she's coming down on the dress in her dress, you know, and Ron's like, "Dang," and he's like has his date, but he's like not paying attention to his date because Hermione's there.
Well, and she didn't really want to date him anyways, right? Because it's Ron.
Well, she's trying to. Yeah, well, I think she was trying to make Ron jealous, right? Because she kind of liked him a little bit, but not like she wasn't full committed yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, hashtag eyebrows.
Hashtag
I'm telling you, dude. She got two big old caterpillars on her face for like the first three movies, and they just they became chrysalis and flew away. I guess I don't know, but they.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, what happened to them? Nobody knows.
What
I say that's
what rabbit did we chase?
dude. We caught that rabbit, and we're riding on top of that rabbit, dude. Well, anyways,
all
we
down
are
the bunny trail.
we are
A gaming podcast.
you know we're a gaming podcast, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for
yeah.
sure. Hey, there's a lot. Listen, we talked a little bit about games, you know,
Yeah,
a little bit
Hogwarts
of that
Legacy
life,
and
a little bit
and
about Browse,
Jesus.
you know, sometimes Jesus, and how he had to wipe the sweat off his brow,
and Trip You.
you know. Yeah,
Yeah,
tripping.
Yeah, tripping.
Yeah, don't be tripping.
Don't be tripping. Don't let Jesus trip
But
you.
yeah, yeah.
You better start
Watch out for the
listening.
when you gonna quit playing games with Jesus.
Jesus.
But we do have some gaming news. If you would like to start that off.
Okay, so yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so obviously we've been out for a while. Lots of things have happened. So we're gonna touch on.
Yeah.
We'll start with the Nintendo Direct that happened a little while ago. I thought by the time we got to record again, we were gonna have another Direct.
Yeah.
Look, now these are games I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna say you're probably looking forward to a few of these. Mario versus Donkey Kong. Now I never played this on, I believe it was the Game Boy Advance. So it's they didn't say it was a remake, but it's, I guess, like a remake, or maybe it's a second one. There was not really a whole lot of context that went along with the announcement, except for that it was single player and multiplayer. Donkey Kong steals all of the Mario toys, and Mario has to, fight Donkey Kong to get them back. It's like a puzzle-solving platformer. It looks really neat. It'd be something fun for the kids, something fun for me to kind of play with the kids. The big one,
the classic rivalry.
Oh yeah. What started it all, right? But I think that's a February 16th launch, unless they changed the date since I did this. But the one that I'm looking forward to that comes out in November is Mario RPG. We got updated graphics, turn-based attacks, and what I like about the turn-based attacks is it goes back to the old style of doing things, where when you tell that to attack and you click the button during the attack, or like right before the attack happens, it's like time-based. So if you click it at the right time, it'll even do extra damage.
Yeah.
And then there's like triple character special moves, when the special move gauge is full, things like that. I don't know.
I do like that timing, aspect to it, but for sure, because I don't know. To me, I mean, it just kind of gives you a little bit of extra. I don't know, something to really pay attention to instead of like just spamming A if you're over leveled and then just looking away from the screen and coming back.
So, well, that was the thing. It gives you a little bit of extra. I think Sea of Stars actually takes that into account too, because maybe Chrono Trigger did that as well. But it's just it adds to the combat. It's probably going to make it a little easier for younger kids to get into, because I don't remember ever playing Mario RPG. I know it was on 60. Was it 64 or Super Nintendo? Oh, I gotta look.
That was, yeah, I think that was on 64.
No, it was Super Nintendo. All right, hold on. Don't fail me now, Google. Yeah, it was Super Mario RPG. Yeah, because it's on you can actually play it now. I mean, if you don't want to wait till November, you can actually play it. It's on the Super Nintendo app. If you have
yeah, that's right,
the Plus expansion. So you can go ahead and play it now. I started it. Oh yeah, for sure. I started it.
If you get the Benjamins.
I started it. It's I mean I was gonna finish it. I was gonna play through it, and then I saw that they're doing the remake, or heard rumors of the remake, and I just decided to hold off.
One thing, and I know they're trying to stay true to the game, but I think it would be just really awesome to have more characters, and we'll see. Because I know they're staying true to the characters that, and I know there's a couple exclusive characters that are like kind of unique to that game.
Yeah,
but
right.
I think it would have been super awesome if you just kind of, because there's so many iconic Mario characters that people like to play, and it's kind of evident based off the fact that they're all in Smash.
Yeah.
So it's like, because people want to play these characters in a fighting game like that, like what make it kind of like a Final Fantasy thing where you have like a whole roster to choose from, and they all are good at certain things. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think what would be neat is if they would, and I've not heard of this coming or anything. I think it would be neat to have, give it the Super Mario 3D World treatment, where we got Super Mario 3D World, which was already out. I mean, I don't think they really did anything to that game because it didn't need anything. It was on Wii U, so it was already 1080p, and but give it the Bowser Fury treatment, where give us Mario RPG, come out with some DLC for it that builds onto the maybe an after story, or not necessarily a full sequel, but that's I don't know, that'd be neat. Add some stuff. I know that they are adding some more characters in Mario Kart. Funky Kong is coming to Mario Kart. Diddy Kong is coming to Mario Kart. Princess Peach-ette, which is Peach, like a mix between Peach and Toadette. Yeah. And then I think there's one other one coming. But anyways, I mean, we got new characters coming to Mario Kart, which is like a 10, 12-year-old game. So it's doable. I mean, they're showing Mario Kart some love, and I'd like to see the same thing with Mario RPG, but we'll just see when the time gets here, I guess.
Which, I mean, I think just with the upgraded graphics, from what I've heard, Super Mario RPG was really good. Like I heard that a lot of people were pumped about this, and it's one of those things. At the end of the day, it's still something that nobody was expecting to get. So like there was so many people that were like, what? Like, there's no way that we're getting that. That just kind of having flashbacks back to that direct. It was so Mario fans especially were eating.
Well,
right?
I mean, they were for sure.
Man, I mean, there was so many things that you're like, Princess Peach 2, Super Mario RPG, Mario Wonder. You know, like all these things were popping up, and you're like, what?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
so that, and like, so even if it's not like super good, it's still like, even if they just copy and paste and just upgraded graphics and give it to us on the potential of playing it on the Switch,
It'll sell.
with maybe
I mean,
even, yeah, for sure. And it's still going to be good. It's
it's
still
like
going to be something that people want because it's already a good game,
that's like Mario
you
versus
know?
Donkey Kong. I mean, I can't imagine that game being longer than a 10-hour game if it even comes close to that. But you know what? They're going to
Yeah.
drop it at $50-$60. I think it is it 50 or is it 60? I think it's
See, that
50
that's
maybe.
one, and I understand they're trying to make money and whatnot, but it's like, I don't know if the vast majority of default games should even be sold starting off at that price. That's kind of rough, man.
Well, you
It's
know,
like you expect me to pay that much for that game, but then something like Super Smash Brothers, or which I know that's been out forever, but you know what I mean? It's like, or Mario Wonder for that matter. Both of those drop at the same time. You expect me to pay that much, the same amount that I'm going to drop on Mario Wonder that you want me to drop on, you know, Mario versus Bowser or Donkey Kong?
well, Sam, that's what, when the Switch came out, I got the Switch like launch day. I was at Walmart at midnight and I picked it up. And then so that was in March, and I got Legend of Zelda in March. In April, I think I probably picked up one or two games because and they had this thing going where like well, I can tell you April was Mario Kart. Of course, that was a family game. So, with the
Yeah.
purchase of Mario Kart, we had to have more Joy Cons so the whole family could play. And then we bought the little steering wheels for the Joy Cons because it was easier for the kids. And then, so Nintendo knows what they're doing when it comes to.
They do,
You
yeah,
know, I mean, they'll
100%.
just. And so that's what we've got. We've got a lineup where, in October we have not only Mario Wonder, but we have Detective Pikachu coming out. Which I wish they would have released a dual pack with that because I can't imagine Detective Pikachu Returns lasting. I can't see it being a very long game. I don't know. I never played the original, so I wish I had the original on Switch to play it before I played the second one.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's two games in October, and then you've got Mario RPG in November. And they still have not released their December title yet, which there may not be one, but
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's as booked as it is right now,
Yeah.
having things lead all the way. But they probably are still going to drop something in December because Christmas time, right?
yeah.
What a perfect time to be able to get your kid a present.
All right. Well,
You know?
I'll tell you
So,
this, man. One of the and this wasn't the announcement that we wanted, but F-Zero 99 hitting the Switch is so
Yep.
fun. It is so chaotic, and to play, I think there's 3 or 4 maps that you can play on, and just kind of reliving F-Zero because I grew up playing F-Zero on Super Nintendo, so kind of reliving playing
Yeah,
F-Zero,
big
but
change.
playing it in a 99 format is nothing but chaos.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, playing just about anything with 99 players is going to be chaos. But
Well, not Fortnite. The map's so big now that you can actually run around
true,
and
I
get
guess, yeah.
and get to the top 20 without hardly ever seeing anybody.
True. But I mean, I guess if it's designed for that, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
I would say,
you take these little maps that had like 12, 13 players, like vehicles on the track, and
Yeah.
you stick 99 on there, and you don't really make them much bigger. I think the track's a little bit wider, but I think it's only to fit the 1080p, like
Yeah.
ratio
Scaling.
format. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, you stick 99 people on those tracks, man. It's wild. It's a good time. You should download it and play it because it's if you haven't already, it's pretty fun. But after that, they kind of touch base on. We already knew we were getting Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, but they kind of just reiterated the fact that it is still coming. They didn't give a date, I don't think, so it's probably early 2024. But the big surprise was. they were talking about some remakes, and when they said something about a Super Nintendo remake, we all kind of went to Legend of Zelda, and it ended up being Mario RPG. But Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, remastered from the GameCube with updated graphics.
I've heard that a lot of people love the Paper Mario series.
So I have the
Like
Paper
a lot,
Mario.
and I've watched one. I think it was actually this one. I've watched gameplay on this one before, and they just, the people that were playing it at the time, they just had looked like they were having a blast with it.
Well, and so okay, so the new one for Switch, the Origami King, is fantastic. The fighting, the combat in it was a little. It took a little getting used to, but like each boss was this. I remember one of them being like a box of crayons, or it was all these like different types of like origami tools. And I remember one of them having like a box of crayons, and they would shoot the crayons out of the box. They were like missiles. Which I mean,
that's pretty cool.
Nintendo's always been really, really creative.
Oh, pretty solid.
Like
yeah.
Absolutely. It kind of took a book out of Yoshi's Crafted World, which was actually a really, really good game. It kind of took that art style and threw it into the Paper Mario series and made Origami King.
Man, just thinking about how successful like the Pokemon franchise is, the Mario franchise is, like the Zelda franchise is, and then the fact that like there's one question that kind of rings in my mind when I think about these, and that is like how long do you think they're gonna go? This is a big. I know it's a kind of a deeper question, but you got all these franchises and they're just pumping stuff out, man. Like still left and right. I know they're remaking stuff, but on the flip side, like there's still a lot of new, and they're exploring genres of all kind, right? Like Pokemon started off as just, just a turn-based battler, and now you got things like Pokemon Sleep. You got
Unite. You
what's
got a
that?
MOBA.
You got Cafe Remix. You know what I mean? Like, got all these different things. And Mario's kind of the same way. I mean, you got the Mario RPG version. You got Eraser and Mario. You have, which I know they've had these for years, but they just keep making new iterations of them and selling them, and they're selling.
Well, I mean, you have to think that like a lot of this, how I feel like most of our audience knows probably close to my age, but I mean, I was born in the 80s, and I mean, I grew up with like 90 to 100% of these characters. Like I got to see these characters created, and now having kids, my kids get to experience the same characters that I grew up with, but just in different ways. Like I mean, we had Mario Kart, but now I get to say, hey, I used to play Mario Kart as a kid, and then they get to play it, and then we play it together, and it's just it's neat because we can go back and we can play the old Mario Kart, and I can show them what it was like when I was little, and then so they can see how much it's evolved from just humble beginnings, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean absolutely, and like I think you nailed it right on the head when you talked about the fact that they get to experience it so many different ways now, but still similar to sharing the same joy and love that you have for these these games.
Well, I think that's what makes the movie franchise for Mario so. We've talked about it, before. I mean, we watched the Mario movie again the other night, and I was actually looking for things this time
That you,
instead of just
yeah.
enjoying the movie. And we paused it a couple times because at the very beginning, there's a Punch Out posters all
Uh-huh.
over the diner that they're in. There's Punch Out posters everywhere, and then there's the old arcade game for Donkey Kong, and
Yeah.
then when you see
What is it
Mario.
called? Jumpman?
Yeah, they call it Jumpman. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
in Mario's bedroom, on top of the TV, when he's playing Nintendo, when he's playing
Hmm.
Kid Icarus, you see an Arwing from Star Fox on top of the TV.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it, which I think that movie alone is just fantastic. Like like you didn't even, you don't even have to be a Mario like fan and still enjoy that game.
No,
That
no.
movie just because it was a great movie. Like it had great humor in it. I mean the the soundtrack though it was strange was just classic and good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, there's a lot of like some of the songs were a little strange during the time of when they were used, but to be honest with you, I vibe with it. It was still good for me.
Well,
But
and that's the thing, like going into that, I was
of
just
course,
as
animation at
excited.
one point.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just as excited as the kids because it was like I get to see this character that I have played for
Mhm.
30 plus years. I get to see this character on the big screen now. And then of course
Yeah.
they've played this character on the TV and they get to see this character be brought to life, and I don't know. I keep hearing rumors that Illumination is working. I think we've talked about it before. They're working on maybe a Legend of Zelda, maybe a. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm hopeful, man. It's
Well, I
neat
mean,
to.
hopefully they do as well of a job, if not better, on those others because I mean they did a fantastic. Which I mean, they did such a good job. But to be honest with you, I mean the franchise is going to sell regardless,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
it is what it is, right? So, and that leads me to my next question. That's also kind of deep, and I know we're trying to, get through with the news, but I just can't help but think about the other consoles and like what kind of franchises and I know they do have some, but it's like you think about Sony, it's like what is Sony's Mario? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, right now it's Astrobot, I guess.
Astrobot.
Yeah, yeah. So, they introduced Astrobot on PlayStation. I believe it's 4, and so it's an action platformer like Mario. It
No. That's not. I meant like what is
Oh, like what brings people to
like
PlayStation? Like
yeah
what's its big
yeah
IP?
not
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So like what
Um,
is like to Nintendo how valuable Mario is and how lifelong Mario is, right? I mean, and you could say Pokemon, you could say Zelda, right? All of these are groundbreaking, huge, like developed franchises that will sell just if given the opportunity to buy a new game.
so
They're going to sell because they're so popular.
now
But
you know my feeling on Xbox, and for those listeners that don't know, I mean, I used to like Xbox. The Xbox 360 probably one of the greatest,
oh
consoles
yeah,
that
so good,
it's the
man.
greatest Xbox for sure. I would say, back in the Xbox's heyday, I guess was it would have been Halo or Gears of War. That those would have been the console sellers for that.
Now, Halo wasn't Halo exclusive
Yeah, oh yeah,
to
Halo was
Xbox?
exclusive. Yeah, because Halo
Yeah,
was
yeah,
made by Bungie,
for
and Bungie was
yeah.
owned by, I guess, or they made games for Xbox, and then I think Bungie branched out on its own, made Destiny, and that's when Microsoft kind of
That's when
cut
that's
ties with Bungie,
three, 4, 3 took over, and
yeah, and it went
um,
downhill from there.
but I want to say, did they not have Halo? Like they did? Did they not have some of the later Halos though on PlayStation? Like
No,
none.
no, there's never been a Halo in play. Microsoft owns the
Yeah.
Halo
So,
franchise. So Halo, Gears
but
of War,
see, but that's for like
Fable,
early.
Fable.
That's for okay. Fable's up there, but
Hmm.
Fable is only for Xbox as well.
Well, the thing is that with Xbox you get you kind of get that tie-in with PC also because
Yeah.
because I mean they're both Windows systems, right? So
Yep. Yeah. You got Microsoft
you
and
have to watch that because but yeah, I mean Halo, Gears of War, Fable, um,
see, because even that, it's like, but is that like maybe in that generation, or maybe yeah, I would say generation is the right word.
yeah,
Within
no,
that generation, that would be its Mario, but that's not for the entirety of the entirety of Xbox.
right.
What would be its Mario? Because I mean, like Halo is no longer in existence, right? Or like Halo is, but it's not. It's not like it was.
Well,
You
see,
know what I mean?
that's the thing
It's
about
like people aren't
Xbox.
playing it like it.
I don't think Xbox has anything like that anymore. Halo
Yeah.
was from the beginning the Xbox. When the Xbox originally came out, it was like you bought an Xbox for Halo, you bought an Xbox
Yeah.
for Gears of War, you bought the 360 for Halo, you bought the 360 for Gears of War.
So what about Sony? What would I know? Spider Man's one. Like Spider Man's, they've been making a lot of Spider Mans.
I would
I know
say
Spider Man's
even
really
now
really up there.
now
But I know that's not like why you would buy. But that's I mean you can't say that Spider Man's like their Mario
okay,
because
so
it's nowhere
well
close.
that kind of boils into the next like the state of play that came out. We were talking about uh, games that we were looking forward to. Well, Nintendo was the only place that you could play Final Fantasy back in the day. Like Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
They, I don't remember if Final Fantasy was on Sega or not. It may have been, but Final Fantasy, that's where you played SquareSoft. That's where you played SquareSoft games, was Nintendo. And then
yeah.
when Final Fantasy VII came out, they shifted. They made that shift to PlayStation, and PlayStation held Final Fantasy up until man, Cloud is going to get me for this. What was the first one on 360? Was it 12, 13 maybe? Anyways, and then finally it started branching back
I
out
think
on
it
it.
was. I think it was the one. Wasn't it the one with lightning?
Yes, uh-huh.
So what is that? That is that the
I think it was
12?
12. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 12.
Let me look.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy would be one. Yeah, like I would say Final Fantasy's up there
Yeah, it was
with
13.
Mario.
Yeah, it was
Like
13.
I mean, obviously, like it's not. I don't think it's bigger than the Mario franchise.
Oh, no, 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 no.
But and I think actually by a large margin, it's probably not. But I would still like look at that and be like, yeah, people have probably bought a console for Final Fantasy games before, or well, which they wouldn't really have to do that because their Final Fantasy is more open, for consoles now.
Well, and
So it's like
the thing
maybe
is
God. I mean, God of War is definitely one. I
yeah,
know
I
God
mean,
of War has been that franchise that has really pulled people in, right? So I guess a good way of looking about it, going about what makes this like one of the defining franchises for this game system would be if it compels people to buy the system,
well, and,
right? Like if there was no other games but just this game offered on that system, would you buy it? You know what I mean?
um,
And so it's
I'm gonna
like
be,
Mario, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Pokemon, yeah.
and as much as I would like to say,
Zelda,
okay,
yeah.
so like Final Fantasy 16, it's only available on PlayStation right now. It should
Yeah.
probably eventually come to PC, but would you buy Final Fantasy? Oh, would you buy a PS5? Would you drop the $500 to buy a
So
$70 Final Fantasy game?
me personally, but most certainly there are people out there that would,
Yeah, I think we had a
because
couple Discord buddies that did.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, because I mean they are, which I love. I'm not gonna say I love the Final Fantasy franchise, just because I think I got into it too late, to be honest with you,
yeah,
because I only played Final Fantasy X growing up,
the
and
earlier ones,
it
man,
was
are
it
so
was super
great.
fun. But
Well, and I will say, I will, if there is a Switch revision, Switch 2, Switch whatever, I will probably buy Final Fantasy VII on that console over buying it. I actually got it for free on PS5 through one of my I think it was like one of the PlayStation games of the month or whatever that I got for free.
yeah,
And so I have Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I have yet to finish it because I think I got to chapter 7 or 8, and I'm just like, I just don't play on it as much. So I think
yeah,
if Nintendo came out with a console that could push the graphics, and now of course they're not going to get IPs like Spider-Man because Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. But
yeah.
Spider-Man's not always been on PlayStation. I mean, they have for the most part, but there were some Xbox 360 Spider-Man games that were really good
Oh
that were
yeah,
tied to the
yeah. You're
movies.
right.
You know,
Yep. Hmm.
and
You're right.
even past that, there was one called Web of Shadows, and then some other Spider-Man games that. But
Yeah.
right
So
now, Sony knows that Insomniac Games has. I mean, well, okay, so Ratchet and Clank, that's a Sony exclusive.
okay, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
What about? I know a lot of people like Spyro. What is Spyro?
No, it's not console locked anymore. It used to be on PlayStation, but the thing is Sony and
Yeah.
Microsoft are both trying to play nice with Nintendo because they know that in Japan, where Sony sells a lot of their consoles, Nintendo has owned that market right now. Xbox, who
Yeah.
has a pretty good hold on America with Sony, they know that Nintendo is a strong. I don't know if competitor's the right word. It probably is competitor.
Hmm.
That is where so both companies are playing nice with Nintendo right now.
Well, so it seems to me like kind of evaluating it a little bit, or think as we're talking this out, it seems to me that when it comes to like the franchises that have established these consoles, Nintendo is like leaps and bounds above
Oh,
the
definitely.
other
They
two
Yeah, well
in
they
terms
have
of like
they have
because
way more
Pokemon,
IPs that
Mario, Zelda's those three alone, I think beat any of the ones that you offer from the other two consoles.
Okay, so
I do. I don't think there's anything like because Halo was huge, but it was only huge for that allotted time. Right? It's not big anymore.
well and
Right?
here's
It's
here's what you do. So you look at it this way. Yes, the Switch could Nintendo have sold their Switch for $500? Yes. The answer is yes. And the reason is because they have the IPs to back the console.
Yep.
You know,
Hmm.
now Sony and Microsoft have to charge that much for their consoles because it's got the hardware. It
Yeah, because
costs that
it's
much.
more of a hardware difference, much rather than the IPs.
All three companies are taking a hit on the actual hardware sales because the hardware costs more probably to manufacture than than what they're charging. I mean, if you were to go out and buy a PC spec'd with what the PlayStation actually has or the Xbox actually has inside of it, you're not going to buy a
Yeah.
PC for that for that cheap. So,
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
I mean, the hard drives and those things alone would be probably the majority of the $500, right? And so, but with Nintendo can knock their console down a little bit more because they know that even though Legend of
They're gonna sell.
Zelda, yeah, oh yeah, even though everybody's not going to buy a Switch for Legend of Zelda, they also have Mario, which, kids are going to run flock
Hmm.
to Mario. So
Yep.
they're going to sell, not only are they going to sell one Nintendo Switch to a family, they're going to sell multiple Nintendo Switches to a family.
Yeah,
You know, like
because I mean, it's just as affordable to do that than to buy one big console that not everybody can play at the same time.
right, because I bought my Switch, I passed it down to one of my kids. When I got my OLED, so we have a Switch, we have two Nintendo Switches, we have a Switch OLED, and we have a Switch Lite in my house.
Mm.
Now, we only have one PS5 and one Xbox One, and I have
Yeah, I mean, and that's
yeah,
rightfully
and
so,
I
right?
mean
I mean,
yeah, I mean that's just the only reason I kept like we kept the PS4 Pro was because I just keep all my VR games on it, and so I play all my VR games on it, and then But yeah, I mean, they just have the IPs to back it up, and the thing is if they ever
yeah,
ran low on say their Mario franchise or their Luigi's Mansion franchise, their Paper Mario, their Legend of Zelda, they bring something out that they hadn't brought. They bring F-Zero. They remake it for F-Zero, or they have F-Zero come back out. They have what's another Star Fox. They bring out a Star Fox for all those fans that
hmm oh, they have been fiending over that, like some sort of like, I mean, just anything on that one,
dude.
on
I
that regard.
I love Star Fox. I have played every Star Fox
Oh
except
yeah,
for the one on Wii U because I figured they would port it to Switch.
yeah.
But in saying that,
But
uh,
yeah, just I mean, just and I know we took up a lot of time with that segment as well, but and who knows, this might be just something that I'm curious about. It might be something that hopefully a lot of the viewers are now thinking about as well. But just think about how many. I'm not going to call them micro. I'm not going to call them like micro franchises, but how many smaller franchises they actually have to have, and the other two on top of the hardware that costs more to
well,
be able to continue to keep up with these big franchises that Switch has
and I
or
will say
Nintendo has.
this. We talked about the positive for Nintendo, and we kind of left off the part that what sells Xbox is their ability to have Game Pass, and so Game Pass and having essentially a digital
True.
Netflix for video games for a console is what
That
make
is, I mean, one of the best ideas they've ever.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that
one
is
hundred.
why Xbox is still in the game. Now, PlayStation
Yeah,
has tried to mirror that. It's a good bit more expensive to do the PlayStation side of it. But you
yeah.
also get top tier games like Final Fantasy Remake. You get things that are
Oh yeah.
lot which Xbox has the same thing. I mean, they have
Which yeah, I think Xbox is starting to try to do a little bit more with that too. I think they're starting to try to add more because they're seeing the results over there at PlayStation. So they're like, hey, we need to kind of add some of these higher rated games on there. These games that are more likely to bring people in to Game Pass
well,
because
and now with them,
it did seem last time I checked it, it did look like there was a lot better titles offered. That I was
well,
like, oh, I was like,
it's
I can't believe this is on Game Pass.
yeah, and
We
it's
still play it.
yeah, the PlayStation one's really nice. I mean, it offers a lot. They just don't have the well, I mean, now with Microsoft owning Activision Blizzard, with Microsoft owning Bethesda, they can drop more and they can pull from Sony now. But Sony has Insomniac Games, which Insomniac Games makes. They make the Ratchet and Clank series. They also make the Spider-Man series. They also make the Infamous series, which there hasn't been one of those in a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Spider-Man is, I mean, that is as much as I love Nintendo and the October games that are coming out for Nintendo. Spider-Man 2 is my October pick because they're adding so much more to it. Used to, you just had the one island of New York that you could swing and you could see the bridges, you could go to the bridges, but you couldn't swing across the bridges. They're opening the island up, so now you get all 3 islands.
Let's go.
And so you got the 2 sister islands, and you have upgrades for Miles and Spidey, and I think you can swap between Miles and Spidey when you want.
Oh, that's also cool.
But the HUD is different. They've upgraded their the lenses for the HUD and stuff when they're looking out, to the city. They can see tasks that they've done already or things that they need to do. And but beyond that, we got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming out. It's going to be they're going to offer a twin pack where you get the first remake and the second remake, and it looks like that's going to complete the story.
That's good.
So
it's going to be on 2 disc.
Yes, it is going to be.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Bringing back the nostalgia of games back when games were for the weak.
Well, and I also saw something that I think you get to play as Sephiroth.
I know in that new, what is it, the Ever Crisis or whatever. I know in that one, they've had like a younger Sephiroth that you could play as.
Oh,
which I know that one's more.
Right. Yeah, Crisis Core.
Like,
is it Crisis Core?
Right. There's Crisis Core. Yeah, I don't know exactly what. So Ever Crisis is the one that just dropped on the phone not too long ago.
Oh, the mobile one. Yeah.
One, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't started that yet.
I saw clips of like a young Sephiroth that you could play as.
I don't know. I've been out in my front yard.
Which I think that was. I
fighting
think that's
Rathalos.
also. Yeah, Rathalos. the snake.
I got Rathalos, the big dragon from Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but I thought you were talking about.
No, I got Monster Hunter now.
Monster Hunter now, yeah. I was like, I thought you were. For context, this man shot a snake in the head on his porch
multiple times.
Dropped that snake, and so I thought he was saying Rathalos.
Oh no, that was a different time. So no, I was actually out in the yard fighting Rathalos, and then we came in, and then I had to defeat the devil, the Satan, right there on my front porch.
The dishes.
Yeah, it was funny because it wasn't funny because I hate snakes. I'm terrified of them. I don't like them. I don't want anything to do with them. And of course, we live in a rural area. We got Starlink, so we live in a rural area, so we got snakes all the time. And but I hate them. And so my kid looks over, and he's like yelling, "Dad, snake!" And I'm thinking it's in the house, so I'm kind of freaking out. And I said, "What does it look like?" "I don't know. It was white." "Dude, we don't have albino snakes." "What color was it?" "All I could see was its belly." I was like, "Where is it?" He's like, "It was crawling up the window."
I don't know.
And
all I know is he's trying to get in the house.
Yeah, he was trying to get in the house, and I'm like, nope, I gotta get the gun. We gotta take care of this right now. So, but crush the head, done deal.
Crush it real good.
I tell you what, I crushed that snake like NetherRealm crushed that Mortal Kombat 1 port on Switch.
Boy, you want to talk about a game that. Listen, I don't normally projectile vomit. But sometimes when you see a game that reminds you of a PlayStation 1 game, you're like, what is going on? And it's not a remake or it's not like a port over and you're like, hey, this was an older game. Like, this is a new game that came out that looks like somebody used not Crayola but crazy art to color the stuff, dude.
I'm telling you,
like, what is
Bob Ross is painting happy trees in the background.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, everybody, it's a universal problem. If you have kids and you take them to a Mexican food restaurant
and they have those colors, those really cheap colors that they're like here, and they give you the pack that they can just color with. That's what they use to color this game. All the shading and stuff, like the worst wax colors of your life.
It actually kind of looks like what they did was they took the PlayStation, the Xbox version, and then they dumped paint thinner over it and let it just kind of like wash most of the colors.
While they sniff the rest of it. Yeah, while they sniff the rest of the paint thinner, they. Boy, I don't know what happened.
Well, Johnny Cage should have left his glasses on, because when he takes them off, it looks like he looks like a pug. His eyes bugging out of his head.
Yeah, no, he should change his name. He's not Johnny Cage no more, dude. That's Johnny Kennel.
Johnny Pug. Johnny Pug Kennel.
Johnny Pug Kennel. And he's a put his dog back in the house, because I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't even seen the gameplay. I don't care to see the gameplay.
So
in fact, actually, to be honest with you, I'd much rather stub my toe.
Okay, so I got a gameplay funny for you, because I did actually see a little bit of gameplay. So one character from the right side is walking into the character on the left side, and it's just they're just walking into him, so they're just pushing them back.
Oh yeah.
They push them into the background, and then the characters in the background, and they can't get out of the background
They're like, what?
Yeah, they can't even attack each other anymore, because now one of them's in the background and they can't, and one of them's in the foreground and they can't fight each other.
Oh my goodness,
it's so bad, man. But
dude, what someone should do is like take that clip and clip over it the noise that you make when you go into the Super Mario 64, the mirrors or the paintings when you go into the next world. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
When you like jump into the paintings and they're like, and they make that little weird like majestical noise.
That's what they did. What they did. They took the Mario 64 engine. Yeah. And they got in there with a mouse and they stretched all their faces out. Let's see how weird we can make this. Let's go.
Hey, This
is what I hear when I saw a tweet about this. This is what I hear. I hear, "Hey, Switch fans, you said you don't care about graphics. Here's a $70 game.
Play it mobile." It's like, yeah, I want to play it never. How about that?
I would like to be able to play it
without
glitching.
Honestly, like, this isn't even a roast. Like, oh, this isn't even a funny, like, or we're just playing or joking around, which we do. It's like, hey, RIP to Hermione, right? I'm like, hey, didn't really mean it. Don't worry about your eyebrows. I mean, they were bushy, but like, it wasn't that bad. But like, this is like a genuine insult. Like the fact that they did not apologize for like how it was ported over.
No, all they said was that they were going to fix it. But I mean, are we going to get a fix like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet where heads still spin?
Yeah, I have a way of fixing it. You give me my money back.
That's
how I fix it. Which, I mean, I didn't drop any money on it because I have a brain.
And I read something funny because it was oh man, so
boy.
So the funny I read that they took the screenshots and the videos off, and I saw where a couple of the videos that they had posted were from the Steam Deck or from Steam, because they were getting like, you would see Steam notifications up in the top, and that's what they recorded and put on the eShop for people to see the video of the gameplay.
Yeah, I'm sure it. But Steam's kind of unrelenting, man. The people on Steam, they're like, ask Overwatch. Overwatch became within the week the most hated game in all of Steam.
Well, but that's the thing. They NetherRealm took footage from a Steam Deck where they were getting Steam notifications. That's the
Oh
footage
my
they took and they
gosh.
put on the Switch eShop to say, "Hey, this is what our game looks like on the eShop. This is what our game's going to look like when you purchase it." So they lied to
Yeah.
everybody.
Mm, that's okay. Yeah. Why? I don't.
Now they took all that
Mm.
down. The I can't think of the guy's name. Loser. He said he was gonna. They are going to fix it now. But what kind of fix is
Yeah.
that going to be? It's not going to look like the PS5, and we don't expect it to. But we expect it to run,
No.
especially when you pay $70 for it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just I don't know.
I
That to me does not
I got
bode well.
this guy on YouTube,
Why does this
Twitter.
keep? Uh,
That
the,
Yeah,
oh,
there's
go ahead.
this guy on YouTube and Twitter that I watch that he spent like $110 so he could get it for early, and then he
Oh my
played
gosh,
it.
I would be so. Ugh,
Well, he said
I would be
he had to
sick to
do
my
all this live
stomach.
live streaming of him playing the game and talking about how garbage it was just so he could get his money back on it.
Yeah,
Which, I
I would
mean,
be
that's
sick to my
good for
stomach.
him because now
Yeah,
he's got a lot of
no,
content out there.
absolutely.
He's making probably triple. He could probably buy the game 3 more times and still trash on it.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's sad that we had to go to that extent for that to even happen. And so, but listen, I tell you, Mortal Kombat is so bad that rendition or that port over on the Switch. It's it's I am putting it below Nicki Minaj being a
Oh,
part. Yeah,
Call of Duty.
I think Nicki Minaj being a part of COD is a better thing than the graphics that I saw from.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I would much rather Nicki. Because to be honest with you, that just, I mean, listen, I don't even play COD, but I mean, you get Nikki in there, I mean, it's probably a pretty fair, pretty big target. You know what I'm saying? It's like with the nails and the hair and the makeup.
Did you see the the
I mean,
screenshots or the
no,
video of it?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm
My
excited to see it though.
my my
I think
my wife sent
we're
it
gonna
to
laugh
me.
hard.
My wife sent it to me,
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
goodness.
I'm not even watching that. Like, I no,
Well,
absolutely.
like so, like I don't know what COD is. I guess COD is trying to take a page out of like like a page out of Fortnite's book because I think on like Warzone they also have like Spawn or something.
Okay, so yeah, he actually I think just released. Well, they're having to do the same thing. They're having to
You know,
recoup because Warzone has been such a up and down thing. I think
well,
that
I tell you a big reason why it's because they don't do anything about the anti-cheating stuff. So you got people that are shooting you in the like below ground, like and just killing, like can walk across the map like underneath the ground and then just kill everybody because
yeah.
they can't because you can't see them because he's beneath you. And so like you got all these people that are just like flat out cheaters, you know. Which, by the way, why in the world? Like, if you suck that bad at a video game that you have to sit there and have such a cheat where it is impossible for you to lose the game, you need to go play something else, dude.
Oh, now I'm
Go,
sitting up.
go, boy. Like, what?
That's what I'm talking about. I
Like,
mean, if you
what kind of competitor, bro?
look, if I suck at a video game, I'm
Like,
gonna put it down.
yeah, you know what? I would be scared for them to even pick up a controller because I would be fearful they would break a nail, dude.
Well, it's okay.
You
So
kidding me?
that's the thing, So I love Splatoon. I really,
Yeah,
really do. I suck at it,
please.
and it infuriates me so. But but I must hate myself because I keep picking it back up.
Yeah, but it's not like you turn on hacks and just like pop off and kill everybody
No,
while you're
no,
just sitting there
no. I want to
like
get
thinking
better.
that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean? And I'm like, why are these guys doing this? Like they queue and they just play, and they legit play like the same as everybody else. But like, can you imagine working like the hours that we work, right? Like we hardly ever get time to play video games anymore.
Yep.
And which is kind of irony because we have a podcast, but all about video games. But
there's that. I mean, we get breaks during the year. That's when I game, like all the time.
I mean, can you imagine working, or like even a step further? Can you imagine somebody working like a 12-hour shift, right? They don't hardly ever get a time to play, and their favorite game is this game. They hop on and they're fixing to have fun, and they're really going to compete, and they want to try to get them a winner chicken dinner. You know what I'm saying? They're getting ready to get this dub, and you get shot up from underneath the map by some dude that's out there picking his nose and has never had any physical contact with another human being whatsoever. You're like, what in the world? I would be heated, dude. Like I gotta go through all of this stuff, and I can't even play the game properly because you want to just,
that's what it
because
is.
you won't get up out your mom's basement. You kidding me?
I don't know. All I know is this software that we record this in. I gotta get the sounds working because I've got a fireball that I could just throw. We could just throw fireballs.
I'm telling you, I'm more heated about I'm more heated about this than I am even the graphics on Mortal Kombat. But I don't know, just a little pet peeve. Don't cheat, man. Don't cheat.
Yeah, because I mean, you're taking everything away from somebody who.
Listen, it's one thing you turn on hacks on like a single player game, because at the end of the day, it's like, or like like, hey, which I don't anymore. But back in the day, back in my heathen days, I played Grand Theft Auto. Right, I did the cheats.
Yeah, right.
Right, that's a different story.
But you're not playing with others. You're not ruining somebody else's fun.
This was also like San Andreas, and I was also like 10, 11 years old, and I'm like, probably shouldn't have been playing the game to begin with. But
I was going to say,
should not have.
I didn't rent that to you.
Yeah. You didn't rent that to me?
No, you wouldn't have been old enough.
Yeah. But, I tell you what game, and I know we got to wrap it up because we're going a lot longer than expected. But, it's been a while. It's been a month and whatnot.
You know what? As long as we're
getting into the rhythm.
Fun. That's what we're.
But I tell you what game that I've been like, I actually just started watching a little bit of gameplay on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's Persona 5, man.
Oh,
and I kind of hate the fact that I just missed the sale, because I could have sworn it was on sale for a good bit. And so I just looked at it, and it's full price right now, and I can't.
Okay, so here's the thing about
even though I know a lot of people would, but
but
also I've heard some of the. I mean, it's has got that stout language, man. That's I'm kind of like, but like the voice acting's killer in it, and like I love how they shift to like anime, the almost like it's an anime episode.
Is there voice acting in it? Because I didn't think there was.
Oh yeah, no, there's tons. Like almost every line's voice acted.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because
it's like big, and they're like big time actors. Like I've noticed several actors and actresses, for that matter, that voice many of the dubs right now in the current big anime.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they've been in some very familiar voices, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like there's one in particular. There's a girl in particular that the moment that I heard her voice, I was like, I've heard her voice like 1,000 times in anime before.
So here's the thing
because she's done multiple.
Here's the thing about Persona though, is there's. And I had this conversation with our esports kids. I like the turn-based combat. I love it. It's it's very old school. It is extremely difficult. It's infuriatingly difficult.
Which I love because I don't like myself.
Well, I knew that. So I mean, this is right up your alley. The only thing that I don't like about Persona, I don't like all of the relationship building stuff that you kind of have to do to unlock specific types of I guess,
Which
like
I'm
it
sure this
plays
opinion's going to
more.
change. I just want to use Arsene.
It plays more into the favor of, um, like okay, so in four, because I have four, so you're supposed to one of the things was to rescue this person, and so you've got so many days to do it, right? And you have to make it to that day, and you have to go in and you have to do the dungeon type, thing, and clear the dungeon, beat the boss or whatever. The boss was extremely hard.
Uh,
But instead, so my original thing was like to go into the dungeon each day and just like build experience. Well, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go and talk to this person and talk to this person and do a little bit with this person, and it's
yeah.
a lot of like
So
relationship building.
so it's relationship building with like an aspect of like there are specific like optimal ways of going about doing it too. So it's not
Yes.
just like doing it like loosely. It's like you really need to like plan out how you're going to engage with the other people around you.
Yes, and
Yeah,
kind of
see that's kind of difficult,
because
but
and that's the
like
thing is like when you do that, when you do those things, that day is done. You will not get that day back. You can't. So like you couldn't
yeah,
have
yeah, you can.
you couldn't do all the relationship building then run the dungeon, and get a little XP. And so
And I'm looking
that's
at it now on Steam. It has a Metacritic score of 95.
oh, it's a real, yeah, I hear.
Is it? Yeah,
So I have, like I said, I have four. I love it. I really like it.
dude. I love. Listen, do not. I repeat, do not go. Um, do not go to Steam reviews. They are some of the funniest, but some of the most crude things like which this one's not bad, but the top post is I wish Japan was real. Somebody else said they legit said like they love dude, they love it, man. This one says it's not a game, it's an
Oh
experience.
yeah, yeah. See, that sounds like
Boy,
well, and but that is
dude, this was wild.
that's it though. I mean, that's the Persona series. I mean, it is. It's and don't get me wrong. I
This
mean, that's four is a really good game. I just it was just hard for me to get into. Now on the flip side of that, so Persona is a spin-off of Shimigami Tensei.
yeah.
Shimigami Tensei is similar, but it's more of the fighting and experience
Hmm.
building. And I think you do like you engage with the monsters that you fight, which is how you gain like you win a monster over to your side.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so, but that's all kind of during combat from what I understand. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that and Shimigami Tensei is supposed to be more difficult than Persona, from what I understand. So maybe that's the one you should pick
Well,
up because
I'm not I'm not really scared of difficulty by any
the
means,
mobs
especially
are
when it
all
comes
the
to like
same. So
yeah.
like all the mobs are a lot of the creatures that I guess they're actually like I think in Shimigami Tensei they're demons or something like that. So
Yeah, they refer to them as demons in here. Well, which I've only seen like maybe an hour or so of gameplay. So,
right.
but
I don't
yeah,
know.
I think they have used the word demon a couple times in here as well. Um, but yeah, no, I gotta read this, and then I know we need to go in and call it quits for this episode. But this last one, this dude says, "I hate that I played this game. I wish I never had, just to be able to play it, just to get the feeling of playing it again." This dude's like, man, I hate the fact that I finished this game and even touched this game because I want to. I want to play it again
Experience
for the first
again
time.
for the first
Like
time.
that's one of those
crazy.
reviews where you're like, wow. I was like, that must be a good game, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
It must be.
Huh.
You know, people are saying, dude, people are saying, yes. That recommendation was yes.
Yes. Please, some
If
more.
if why or Toaster Wise says if only there was more I could enjoy. Nagisa says the goat. McDonald Ben Gr says I want to punt Morgana. That's hilarious though. That's the cat, right?
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna give you a little research, a little homework to do, because I don't really want to announce this. I guess on the podcast, maybe possibly. I don't know. It's okay. Persona 3.
Okay.
They how they draw out their persona. That's what you need to find and watch. Because I'm curious. The reason I bring this up is I'm curious if, with the state of the world as it is, if they will in the remake, because they're remaking Persona 3, full updated graphics, everything. If they will use the same way of bringing out their persona to attack.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look at it.
It is very interesting
because it does look like a fun, but I hate the fact that and from what I've gathered, it's worth the $60, but I'm not dropping that. I'll tell you right now, I ain't dropping that.
And they dropping the 60, huh?
I ain't dropping the 60, not right now. Hey, I'm watching the clip right now though, and Joker's over here tearing up what looks to be a starfish demon, and I think it's kind of disrespectful the way that they treated my boy Patrick. All right.
I think you should look at your Discord.
Oh, what?
Oh yeah, point blank.
No. What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they'll change that up, maybe.
Hey, hopefully. But anyways, guys, it's been a really fun time.
Yeah, it's been great.
I know we kind of start off a little slow, but it is our very first time doing this over just on mic.
We hope the audio sounds good. We hope that we're hoping this actually clears up a couple issues we had in the office when we were recording it before.
True. I'm noticing something though that I need to get changed, and that's my chair is awfully squeaky, and I'm noticing it every time I do it, because then I'm like, man, I hope they don't hear this. But at the end of the day, guys, enjoy the chair squeak, because it is what it is.
Yeah, but and my sniffling.
Saying all that, we appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, being a part of the podcast. If you got questions, if you got prayer requests, you know where to hit us up on.
Twitter.
Mavericks already told you guys.
Yeah. Twitter, Facebook.
It seems like we are. We're definitely on Twitter, probably more than anything else. So that would probably be your main outlet of getting a hold of us. But try the other ones as well. We would definitely appreciate that. And hopefully, if everything goes well with this, we'd be able to kind of start pumping out some more content. It'd be awesome to even get to a point where we can record a couple, here and there throughout the week, and be able to post them.
Oh yeah.
For you guys.
Maybe we could do like a
maybe,
mini news segment
alternate.
Or something.
Yeah, alternate from news to and also one last thing with the new internet, I would like to start trying to stream a little bit, and so maybe I can even stream for the podcast, and have you guys come out and be a part of everything. And we might even get to a point where we could start playing with some of the fans as well on games that we might share. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
that would be an awesome goal. I'd love to be able to do that with you guys. But anyways, we appreciate your time and your attention, and saying all that. Do you have anything else there, Maverick? You want to add?
No, I think we about wrapped everything up.
All right. Well, guys, you know how what we do at the end of this. We always wrap things up with a word of prayer, making sure that you guys are taken care of as well as ourselves, and making sure that God knows that we are thankful to be able to have this outlet. So, let's go to the Lord. Father God, thank you so much for today. We thank you for this opportunity we've had to be able to have this podcast, even though it's over online. Lord, we pray it goes well, and maybe this is just another door that you're opening up, new potential and further potential of being able to record more. And God, we ask that you just continue to bless us in a mighty way. And Lord, we pray for all of our listeners, all of the people that have tuned in and spent time and attention and listening to us. And God, we pray that we can give them good, truthful advice, as well as being able to point them to you, let them know that they are cared and loved for, Lord. God, we appreciate all that you do for us each and every day, and let us lift up our voices in thanks. Lord, we love you, and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray this. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out.